This is a cohort special class. So in today's class, we will be focusing on the case studies, especially the new pattern. And let me tell you the overall flow for today's class. Okay, I'm gonna walk you through the complete case study. There's a sample CBQ booklet released by IMA. So this is something we are going to refer today. I'll be going through the complete question. पूरा story समझ लेंगे आज. Okay. Once the story is clear to us, I will explain the story. Second thing, I'll also give you some revision around the concept that is related to the story. Uske baad, we will start solving the question. So first 10-15 minutes will be around just understanding the question, interpretation, and some revision. Then we will move towards solving question. Because I just don't want to practice, I also want you guys to revise this. One important thing. At the end of today's class, I'll be giving you a glimpse of exam simulation. Exam simulation क्या होता है कि the day you are going to go for your exam, actual exam, उसका एक practice session in a way is available on IMA's website. So today I'm going to take you to that sample session. मैं बस दिखा दूंगा, I'll just show you how you can refer it at your own pace. You can practice or go through the simulation. ठीक है, over the weekend. चलो, let's get started. It's a CMA sample. It's a Buckeye Grain. I think Buckeye Grain company का नाम. So let's start with the overall case study. Buckeye Grain is a corn and wheat processing company. It decides to introduce a new product that can be manufactured by either a capital intensive method or labor intensive method. Now to give you a very short breakdown, इसका meaning क्या है? See, when we say capital intensive method, it means we are using a huge investment for this method. Capital intensive मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा पैसा. You're going to use huge investment or large amount of capital to produce in this method. And second is labor intensive. Labor intensive में क्या होता है? You spend more on labor rather than machinery, rather than your overall setup. So think of it in this way. If I buy a machine and use it for 10 years, there's a good chance your machine expensive hoga. This will be an expensive machine. So it will be called as capital intensive. It's an investment that is required at the beginning. Labor intensive mein, I don't buy expensive machines. Okay? Instead, I buy, not buy, I hire a huge fleet. बहुत सारे laborers को मैं hire कर रहा हूँ. I'm hiring a huge fleet of laborers. Okay? This is the change in perspective. So there are two methods given. The choice of method would have no effect on quality of the final product. So quality same रहेगा दोनों methods. During the first stage of the product life cycle, the new product would be priced as low as at a low price of $60 per unit. So this is something I think you guys should highlight. Okay. Whenever you get such important or critical information, you should highlight. Exam may you get this option to highlight information. I'll show you, and by the way, how it works. Next. This pricing would attract customers and help the company gain market share. We have already discussed when we were studying section C, market share kya hota hai, we have studied. Related cost for the two methods are shown below. We have direct material for both methods, direct labor per unit again for both methods, variable overhead for both methods. Total fixed overhead is also given. Fixed overhead, total production pe rahega. This will be on per unit basis. They have also mentioned it per unit. Total fixed overhead, total level पे होता है. Next, all fixed overhead is directly traceable and avoidable. Okay. जितना भी fixed over cost है, we can act if we are switching from one way of production to another, we can avoid it. We can close it down. ये cost जा सकता है. The annual incremental selling expenses are estimated to be 1 million plus $4 per unit. Now, this is where I want you guys to note down something. Guys, as we studied in the class, there are two methods of reporting. I had taught you. Okay. First one was external reporting and second one was internal reporting, which is actually used for CVP analysis. Can you guys tell me what is external format? Revenue के बाद क्या आता है? Anyone?
COGS.
Cost of goods sold.
Perfect. We get gross profit. After this, we have
SG&A.
SG&A, and then we get operating profit. Okay. I'm specifically writing this or asking a question because students do make a mistake over here. जब हम internal करते हैं, after revenue, what is this
Variable
item?
cost.
Variable cost.
Correct. Variable cost. Now, try to answer this or rather, be very attentive for next 2 minutes. Whenever we have variable cost over here, ये variable cost, does it come from COGS or does it come from SG&A or does it come from both?
Sir, both.
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 Excellent, Karthik. Both. So you guys are right. जो भी COGS से आ रहा है, this will be part of the VC. जो भी SG&A से आ रहा है, that will be part of the VC. VC. Now going back to this line, okay, I want you guys to focus on this line. The annual incremental selling expenses. Selling expenses कहाँ पे जाता है? Is it COGS or is it SG&A?
SG&A.
Perfect. This is SG&A. Next, ये जो part है पूरा, what is this? Is it COGS या SG&A?
COG.
Perfect. So I hope you guys are getting a hint what I'm going to. ये जो VC है, and in this line as well, you have 1 million plus $4 per unit. This 1 million, is this fixed or variable? Think about it.
Fixed.
Perfect. Good. This is fixed. Next, ये जो $4 per unit है, what do you think?
Variable.
Variable.
Variable cost. Okay. That was the hint I wanted to give you. यहाँ पर I have highlighted a VC for you guys. They have already mentioned it as VC. And while considering, you know what to consider under VC. अब calculation में गड़बड़ नहीं होना चाहिए. Next. The costs are the same for both manufacturing methods. Company का effective 20% tax rate. Managers, this is important. Buckeye Grains managers plan to implement sensitivity analysis. We'll discuss this later, but something to note. Let me highlight it. To assist with and manage uncertainty of sales. Buckeye also considers introducing product lifecycle concept to its business operation. I hope you guys recall product lifecycle. याद है किसी को? Let me check. Are you guys studying or revising or not? चलो मैं hint देता हूँ आपको. Maybe you guys will remember. Once a product is introduced, it goes through multiple phases. Which is this phase?
Sir, launch.
Introduction.
Introduction stage. We can call it launch, but this is basically introduction stage. Good. ये वाला stage कौन सा है?
Growth.
Correct. We have growth or expansion. Correct, Mansi. We can also call it expansion. And ये वाला stage कौन सा है?
Maturity.
Good. Maturity. And maybe this can be followed up by decline. Okay, so good. This is our product life cycle. Next. When deciding which manufacturing method to use, Buckeye Grain considers operating leverage and financial leverage. Now let me also revise this point. What is operating leverage? How does operating leverage come into picture? What do you think, guys? Operating leverage कहाँ से आता है?
Uses fixed cost to magnify the
Fixed
returns.
cost.
Correct. Whenever you have fixed cost from operations, you have leverage effect. ठीक है, higher the fixed cost, higher the operating leverage. Similarly, when we go ahead, interest is fixed in nature. So this also brings in leverage, but what kind of leverage? Financial leverage. Correct. Higher the interest, higher would be the leverage. Good, you guys are studying. The capital incentive method requires investing heavily in automated machinery and advanced technology. To fund the major upfront investment, the company would need to raise additional equity, long-term loans, or issue new debt. The labor-intensive method requires a lower initial capital investment, reducing the need for external financing. There is so much to decode just from last two statements. But before doing that, let me just give you a taste of what you can see in the exam. अगर आप ध्यान से देखोगे, there are multiple sections being tested in one question. ये question वैसे majority section C से आ रहा है. If you observe, majority of the data is from section C, CBP analysis, where you have all two options, unit economics वगैरह. But the moment you go over here, you will see leverage, जो mainly section A से आ रहा है. The moment you go over here, you have corporate finance, जो section B से आ रहा है, when we talk about equity, long-term loans and debt. Okay, so please be ready for this. You will see a question that will be mix of multiple sections. This is section C mainly, but B and A to some extent is mixed in this. चलो, now let me give you some idea around the interpretation. ये जो last statement है mainly, maybe I'll just quickly break it down for you guys. And I hope you guys recall the case study we had done in class. एक case study था of salesman, sales commission के ऊपर एक case study था where we were selling cars. And we were analyzing, should we give variable component as salary or should we keep fixed component as salary? उसका हमने एक indifferent point निकाला था. I hope you remember that from our class.
Yes.
You guys do? Good. तो उसी पैरामीटर पे ना इसका इंटरप्रिटेशन है. I'll just show you quickly how it works. The labor capital intensive method requires lower initial cap investment. So now I can interpret this as when I have VC and I have FC, मेरा cap investment कहाँ पे जाता है? Capital investment when I'm buying machinery, when I'm renting a place. Cap investment
FC.
usually goes into
FC.
FC. So when we are doing labor intensive, it means FC ज़्यादा है. So I can also assume this as VC कम है. Okay. Now I'm just stretching you. ठीक है, मैं थोड़ा सा push कर रहा हूँ for you guys to think like experts. अगर ये नहीं है, I mean, if you don't deduct this, you don't understand this in first go, perfectly fine. But at an expert level, what is expected, I'm just showing you. Now we are comparing this to another pattern, which is capital intensive. So capital intensive में क्या expected होगा? Your VC, capital intensive में your VC would be higher. मैंने उल्टा लिख दिया ना. You have lower initial capital for labor. Now it will make sense. So you have FC which is lower and you will have VC which is higher. Why? Labor ज़्यादा है. Labor ज़्यादा है तो you will pay higher wages to them. Now coming to the second part where you have VC and FC again. यहाँ पर capital intensive है, so you will spend more on machinery, more on rent, तो FC बढ़ेगा. Which means comparatively we can expect VC शायद कम हो सकता है. We will need less labor, less other components which are variable. ठीक है. So simple interpretation based, pattern that you can observe over here. Guys, are we good? Should we move ahead? Any doubts? Any queries?
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay. And just one quick thing, not necessary ऐसे ही होगा. This is just a speculation that comes to my mind कि ऐसे point denote किया है तो शायद interpretation ऐसे होगा. चलो. Now let's move
Sir,
ahead.
last line. हाँ सर ये last line.
अच्छा, reducing the need for external financing. और
Yeah.
पूरा line you want repetition again?
No, just वो half line.
Reducing.
Reducing the
Okay.
need for external.
ठीक है. तो शंकर, let me give you two businesses to invest. Company A, Company B. यहाँ पर to start Company A, fixed cost required is $500,000. And यहाँ पे to start Company B, FC required is only $2,000. When you want to start this business, खुद से manage कर सकते हो पैसे? $2,000, right? Not that expensive. But for such a big capital, you will consider going to an investor or you will consider going to a bank. So when we say that capital intensive है, when your FC is higher, there will be need for external financing. And $2,000 है, maybe last year का जो profit है, we can just use money from that itself. छोटा सा capital लग रहा है. So this is the meaning. जहाँ पर FC is low, you don't need external financing. But wherever FC is high, you might go for external financing. Shankar, clear?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, chalo. Now, before starting the question, given that this is CVP, let me just quickly revise the concept with you. By looking at the question, there are some, obvious questions that will be asked. The first thing I observed was unit economics दिया है. If unit economics is given, obviously they will ask you questions around break-even point analysis. So let's quickly revise. If you want to calculate BEP in terms of units, guys, what's the formula? How to calculate?
Fixed cost divided by contribution margin.
Excellent.
Contribution margin per unit.
Fixed cost. Correct. CMPU. PU को भूलना मत, okay? Don't take total contribution margin. You need unit specific contribution margin. And if I extend this further, how to calculate contribution margin per unit? This is selling
SP
price
minus VC per unit.
Perfect. VC per unit. So good. First formula is clear. Just to extend this, if the question asks BEP in terms of revenue, what formula do we have?
Fixed cost upon contribution margin ratio.
Ratio cost upon contribution
That's
margin.
good. You have FC divided by CM ratio this time. Or else I've given you one more shortcut. Just take FC upon CMPU. This will be in units and multiply by
selling price per unit.
SPPU. Okay. Both formulas are fine. Next, I saw what sensitivity analysis. So let me quickly discuss that with you guys as well. या फिर चलो अगर क्वेश्चन आता है तो मे बी सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस डिस्कस कर लेंगे. थिंक वी कैन जंप टू क्वेश्चन. थोड़ा सा लेट्स put ourselves to practice now. Now this is how you can expect your first question to show up. Let me walk you through the question. This is only for reference, ठीक है? This is not part of your question. This is the question. ये सिर्फ आपको support package में दिख रहा है. This is reference to which chapter this is coming from. Calculate the estimated break-even point in units of the new product if Buckeye Grain uses capital-intensive manufacturing method. Type your answers in the box. Now for this, we have already discussed the formula. BEP Units is FC upon CMPU per unit. Let's see if we have the numbers. Do we have fixed cost given in the case?
Yes.
Okay. We have capital intensive method going on. So guys, what is the fixed cost given in the case? What do you think?
48.
48. Okay. 4.88 million. But then let me emphasize on one more thing. मुझे
Plus 1 million also.
1 million.
हाँ
Yes, sir.
exactly
Plus
exactly इसलिए तो मैंने ये हिंट दिया था. That was the reason why I gave you this hint. जैसे FC पे we consider both within VC within FC as well we consider both. So COGS level पे जो FC है which is 4.88 million perfectly fine. But यहाँ पर भी तो there is 1 million given. Or for better understanding, let me show it to you properly how this should be. This is your case where you're trying to find out कि यार अपना total FC क्या है? What is our total FC? We know revenue minus COGS. इसका FC comes out to be 4880,000. Gives us GP minus we have SG&A. इसका FC which is 1 million, 1 with 6 zeros. And this gives us operating profit. Now, when we have revenue minus VC, CM minus FC, operating profit, ये दोनों numbers are part of this FC. So your actual FC will come out to be 4.88 plus 1 million. So guys, can you tell me now what is the fixed cost that we have?
5.88 million.
Correct.
5.88.
Excellent. Next, now we have to find CMPU, contribution margin per unit. यहाँ पर do we know the selling price per unit? Look at the case.
60.
$60 per unit. Secondly, do we know what is our variable cost? Yes.
28.
COGS का VC is given. Should we consider any other VC? What do you
Yes,
think?
sir.
Incremental.
Yes.
Correct.
4 per unit.
SG&A का VC भी हमें लेना चाहिए. So this will be 4. So can you please add this with 4?
32.
क्या आ रहा है total?
32.
32? Correct.
Yes.
So you have your selling price of 60, VC of 32. Guys, what is your CM?
28.
28.
28. Let's use this number now. This is now being divided by VC, which is $28. There you go. Answer आ जाएगा. What is the answer?
2 lakh 10,000.
210,000 units. Let's go back to the case and see how we can present the answer. They have given us a box, and box में the answer you should mention is $210,000. $210,000. Now, please note, यहाँ पर there is no comma used. You guys also can avoid using comma in the exam. ठीक है, comma use करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Let's go as per the solution given to us by IMA. Now, before I move to the next question, let me take a quick vote in the class. Okay, we have 33 candidates. Guys, if you are with me, if the first question is crystal clear, give me a Y in the chat. समझ में नहीं आया, either give N in the chat or unmute and ask me your doubts. Okay, 20 plus votes already. I think we are good to move ahead. Chalo, let's look at the next question. Calculate the, again, this is the question. Calculate the annual unit sales volume at which Buckeye Grain would be indifferent between the two manufacturing methods. Indifferent between the two manufacturing methods. This goes back to our sales commission wala case study, giving fixed salary versus giving variable salary. So in this case, again, let me give you guys the information. And this time, I think you guys can easily give it a try. बहुत easy है ये. I'll also give you a hint. ठीक है? In this questions ना, assume X, assume the letter X. Overall information is in front of you. You guys can take up to, let's say, 2 minutes. ठीक है? Give it a try, share your answers in the chat box, and then we'll cross check. Is there anyone who wants additional hint वैसे before you guys go for solving? Chalo, I can't help myself. Let me give you guys one hint. Assume that you guys are going to produce sales पूछा है ना, sales perspective से देखते हैं. Annual unit sales volume. Assume this to be X. One more hint. Your VC gets multiplied by X, but your FC stays as it is. इस पे कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. Okay, I think that's a strong hint. Give it a try. Okay, I've started getting answers. And सबका similar आ रहा है. Seems correct. I'm yet to solve, but seems correct. Okay, Monica, Utkarsh, Shweta, Furkan, Mansi. Okay. Acha, now for this one, let me take a volunteer while solving. Anyone in the class who's struggling to solve this? Veena, should we solve this together?
Sure, sir.
Sure. Okay. So, chalo,
Actually, I got this one wrong.
Oh, great. Then we'll definitely solve this one together. Starting with understanding the question. First, calculate the annual unit sales volume at which Buckeye Grain would be indifferent between two manufacturing methods. Now, the interesting part over here is he's going to sell under both methods, selling price to same hai. So that actually doesn't become relevant. यहाँ पर relevance आएगा manufacturing method में cost का भी. If you are comparing two methods and we want to be indifferent, मतलब if I go for labor intensive और capital intensive, मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ना चाहिए. Same है cost दोनों जगह. The cost is same. So in this case, what we have to do is equate the cost. Sounds right? Sounds reasonable, Veena?
Yes, yes.
So cost I will incur under capital intensive should be equal to cost that we'll incur under labor intensive. Now under this format, let's look at the cost. How much cost we are incurring in this case? By the way, don't know the units. And how do you calculate total cost? उस पे भी जाते हैं. Total cost का formula क्या है? Veena, do you recall? VC plus FC?
VC plus FC, yes.
हाँ. Now, when we want to calculate this at total level, total VC, how is total VC calculated? We have certain units into VC per unit, लेकिन fixed cost तो total रहेगा, ठीक है, अपने unit पे. This is something that we want to find out. So we can say X units multiplied by VCPU plus FC. Now let's find out this VC. What is the variable cost?
32. 28.
Let's calculate.
No, wait.
10.
Wait.
I'll give you a hint in this case. Please calculate this at operational level, not at COGS level, at operational level, जिसमें COGS भी है, जिसमें SG&A भी है. We need this VC.
32.
So should we 32? Correct.
Yes.
This total comes out to be 28. लेकिन इसमें ये भी add होगा plus 4. So this will come out to be 32. So under capital intensive, we have 32 into X units plus we need FC. FC क्या है हमारा 4.8 million plus कहाँ पर गया 1 million. So it will be 5.88 million. Triple C is equal to, why we are indifferent. Cost should be same at total level. Can you tell me the total for this, Veena?
39.2.
39.2. Now, one thing to be careful about, look at the wording. Karthik or someone else had asked me, कि sir, selling expense को लेना चाहिए या नहीं, incremental को लेना चाहिए या नहीं. See, we are talking over here indifference when we are selling units, annual unit sales volume. So when we are selling, we have our production, फिर वो retail के पास चला गया. Usually we take example of Maruti Suzuki. तो factory में car बन गई. We sent it to the retail shop, let's say Nexa showroom. We sent it to our showroom. And now we are selling it. Do we incur selling expense? Yes. Whenever we are selling a unit, whoever is our salesman, usko commission denge hum. Correct? So should we consider this or not? Yes, we should consider. So again, let's go. And even under labor intensive, we need to consider these $4 and we need to consider this 1 million under both circumstances. So now what will be our VC? What do you think? This plus 4 will give you
39.2.
okay, 39 point. Write it properly.
39.
39.2. Thank you, Mansi. So this is our VC, including the $4. Second, 1 million as fixed. तो ये चला जाएगा इसमें. And your 2.64 million है, ये 3.64 million हो जाएगा. So 36 will be 39.2. Again, same units plus 2 million. What's the next amount? I should have written 3. 1 million add हो रहा है. 3,640,800. Is it correct? 3,640,800. Correct. Now all you have to do is solve this. Now this is school level calculation. यहाँ पर, both sides we have x. Let's take this to RHS and let's take this one to LHS. LHS में जाते हुए sign change हो जाएगा. 5880,000 minus 3,640,800. This will be 39.2x minus 32x. ये आ जाएगा 7.2x. What will be the number over here, Veena? Is it 3? This is it correct? So these many units production level pay, we will be indifferent. And again, avoid using comma, given that IMA doesn't want comma to be. Let's check our answer. There you go. The key is 311,000. 311,000. Now, before going ahead, let me take a quick vote. Veena, वैसे are you clear with the concept? क्या गलती हुआ था? What was your mistake?
Yes, sir. I took contribution margin.
Oh, okay. No problem. Sure. Please help me with Y in the chat. I need to make sure everyone is with me. Okay. Majority of the votes are in. Now let's move ahead to the next question. Now we have an MCQ. Again, this is reference. This is the question. How would sensitivity analysis in CVP analysis help Buckeye Grains managers? Now, before we go and answer this, let me see your understanding of sensitivity. Any volunteer who would like to answer कि sensitivity क्या है?
Change in one
We
variable.
have one factor.
One at a time. Furkan, why don't you go ahead?
Changing one variable at a time.
Correct, changing one variable at a time, but I mean it's incomplete answer. When we change one variable,
the impact of
उसका impact is nothing but your sensitivity analysis. So if I, let's say, increase my VC, what happens to my, let's say, contribution margin? What happens to my operating profit? What happens to my BEP? All these answers are given by sensitivity analysis. The idea is we will change one factor and we will see impact on multiple factors. Did we see any other metrics when we studied sensitivity? I think I usually explain scenario analysis as well. And तीसरा है, I think that was cut down, simulation.
Simulation.
In the recent slides, I saw that simulation था नहीं, but yes, scenario analysis is there, which is an additional part. So यहाँ पर sensitivity है, we will focus on your sensitivity. So I'll repeat, sensitivity analysis, how it will help managers take decision. First, identifying irrelevant costs that should be excluded from break-even analysis. Second, determining how changes in key inputs impact profits and break-even point. I'm giving you guys a hint again. By calculating depreciation expenses over the product life cycle. And lastly, ensuring fixed cost remains constant regardless of output. Put your answers in the chat box. Okay. Majority of you have given the answers, but let's have some fun over here. I want you guys to answer two things. एक तो आपने B सही mark किया है. So please explain why B is correct, but along with that, also explain why rest of the three options are incorrect. Let's start with B. You guys think B is correct? The question is why. Would someone like to explain?
So can I?
Yes. Riddhi, go ahead. Mansi, you can take next.
As they are saying that by changing key inputs, So if they will change any input in the production process, maybe if we can say anything. So what will be the impact on the profit? Because as sensitivity analysis state, when you change one variable, what is the impact on your profits? So that's why
Correct.
B is correct.
Correct. You are going in the right direction. It's the same thing that we just discussed. When we say input being changed, input क्या है? Production input क्या होता है? Let's say raw material is your input, direct labor is your input, any overhead costs are your input. So your cost changing and its impact on different metrics, nothing but sensitivity. So that is correct. Now, Mansi, would you like to try option A? Why is this incorrect? Please explain.
Sir, could you help me?
Okay. Chalo, I'll give you a hint. By identifying irrelevant cost. Now, Mansi, let me ask you a scenario. Do you consider cost to be relevant or irrelevant when you are calculating break-even point analysis, or do you consider cost to be relevant versus irrelevant when we are doing, let's say, differential analysis, when we are doing incremental analysis, when we are doing all sorts of comparative analysis? यहाँ पे consider होता है या यहाँ पर consider होता है?
In second case.
Exactly. ये relevant versus irrelevant का scope हम लाते ही नहीं है. If you recall our learnings, whenever we started with this part, इससे पहले हमने सीखा था. This is done considering all costs. हम जाते नहीं है relevant क्या है. That is the reason why option A is incorrect. ठीक है, it looks correct, but it is actually incorrect. Clear, Mansi?
So,
yeah,
sir,
it's just putting the word cost to confuse us, like, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Anji,
sir,
someone said sorry. Yes, Ritu.
so this will be relevant in the case of make or buy,
हाँ,
sell or process
correct.
further questions.
Correct. Whenever we are doing comparison, तब हम relevance irrelevance की बात करते हैं. But when it is BEP निकालते थे हम, we simply take all the cost we want to recover. This is cost recovery. इस पे सब कुछ
Yes.
consider होता है. Yes.
Okay.
Next, by calculating depreciation expenses over the product life cycle. Why is this incorrect?
Depreciation वैसे भी add back होता
It's
है
a
ना sir?
fixed cost.
वो
हाँ, I mean, this is just cost allocation. ठीक है, एक long term cost है, we are just allocating it. So this has nothing to do with as such, sensitivity analysis, or there is minimal scope of helping managers decide anything as such. So
So
again,
this would be relevant in capital investment decisions.
हाँ, capital
E
investment
section E.
decision. Yes, correct. Section E में जाओगे तो this is relevant. Good. And last, by ensuring fixed cost remain constant regardless of output. Why is this incorrect? ये तो correct होना चाहिए. This actually pertains to our discussion of range. मैंने बताया था ना कि if a factory has capacity of 500 units, so we have to assume in short term we stay within 500 units, because if we are making 501 unit, we might need another factory. तो ये FC को disturb कर देगा. FC should stay constant regardless of output. तो assumption ये है we stay within the range. So क्या problem है इस option में? सही तो होना चाहिए.
sir, fixed cost per unit changes इसलिए.
Okay.
Yes, sir, fixed
चलो.
cost में change होगा तो बहुत बड़ा change होगा.
Okay. Fixed cost per unit changes, I agree. But यहाँ पे ना unit का mention है, ना total का mention है. So we can assume it to be total. See, यहाँ पर, now this is a classic thing. यहाँ पर there is no problem with the statement, but this is not in context of the question. Yes, as a statement, this is correct. But sensitivity analysis से क्या ही लेना देना है? It is an assumption that will take us further towards sensitivity analysis. But this in itself is not a sensitivity analysis. This is an assumption after which we conduct sensitivity analysis. Are you guys getting my point? इसको हम
Yes, sir.
मानते हैं तब जाके आगे हम sensitivity analysis कर सकते हैं. So as a statement, it is correct, but not the best answer or not a very relevant point. Okay, making point B as the correct answer. Let's see. Yes, option B is correct. Next question. Buckeye Grains Management is analyzing the stages of product life cycle. Use your mouse to drag and drop products characteristic that best aligns with appropriate stage of the product life cycle. Not all options will be used. इसका meaning simple है. In your school days, क्या आपने match the following कुछ किया है क्या? Left side को right side के साथ match करना था.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
हाँ.
Yes, sir.
This one is exactly similar question or exactly same type of question. लेकिन यहाँ पर they have mentioned not all options would be used. So यहाँ पर let's say we have 6 options. 6 options है and stages are 4 introduction list. So all you have to do is match them. Now let's start matching them. Let's start with the first one. I think you guys are clear with this 4 stages. हमें ये 4 stage पता है. Introduction, growth, maturity and decline. So you guys directly tell me if this matches with any one of the stages. सबसे पहले we have surging sales, increased competition, adding features, new markets. Do you think it matches with any of the stages?
Introduction and growth.
नहीं, दोनों कैसे आएगा? It's one-on-one match.
Growth.
Growth
Growth.
stage.
Growth stage.
Growth.
Correct. Growth stage. Maturity.
Surging sale means
Surging मतलब बढ़ने वाला. Surge means increase. So your sales are growing, competition is growing, you are adding new features and you are also entering new markets. This is nothing but growth. आपको maturity, whoever said maturity क्यों लग रहा है? Think of this graph, okay? Always remember. You start at a loss-making phase, then you grow and then you mature. तो यहाँ पर growth थोड़ी है, ये stagnancy आ गई है. This is stagnant, okay? So this is not maturity. Maturity पे there is fairly you are stagnant. Next, falling sales, product discontinued or obsolete, company exits product line. What do you think? Sale कहाँ पर होता है?
Decline.
Decline.
Correct. We had shortly discussed ये नीचे चला जाता है. So this phase is decline. So let me write this as decline. Next, high acquisition costs, building consumer awareness, little to no profit.
Growth.
Introduction.
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 Correct.
Introduction.
This is introduction. ये वाला phase है. This is negative, right? So little to no profit. So this is your intro phase. Let me write over here as well. This is introduction. Next, well-established, stable competition, low customer acquisition cost campaign, focus on competing products. What do you think?
Maturity.
Maturity.
Maturity? You guys are correct. Well-established, by the time we become stagnant, it is expected that you are well-established in the market. Stable competition, I mean, everyone is doing the best they can who are at the top of the curve. Low customer acquisition cost, simple. Awareness is done. Consumers are now buying the product, whoever can. जिनके पास हम पहुंच सकते हैं, we have reached them as our market. So now we are fairly stable, but at the same time, we don't have to spend a lot on marketing. And lastly, focus on competing products. So we will observe who will disturb us, who will pull us down. Competition हमें खींच सकती है क्या पीछे? We will focus on that. Okay, so this is nothing but your maturity stage. Next one, steady decline in advertising spend, increased employee hiring, widespread product recalls. ये कौन सा stage है?
Growth.
Growth. I'll give you.
Maturity.
I'll highlight one more pointer.
Maturity.
Going back to the question. इसको भूलना मत. Not all options will be used. मतलब
Oh,
not
yes.
necessary all options have a match.
Okay.
Now let me highlight
हाँ
one
सर,
thing.
क्योंकि उसमें कंफ्यूजिंग था कि इंक्रीज्ड एम्प्लॉय हायरिंग भी है और एडवर्टाइजमेंट भी डिक्लाइन हो रही है, तो ग्रोथ या मैच्योरिटी?
Exactly. See, this is maturity. Advertising spend नीचे जा रहा है, this is maturity. But
Yes.
increased employee hiring मतलब growth होता है.
Growth.
Widespread product recall तो तब होगा when you will do some गड़बड़ in the company. ठीक है, तो गड़बड़ यूजुअली इनिशियल फेज में होता है, नॉट एट अ लेटर स्टेज. सो दिस इज कंप्लीटली ऑफ ट्रैक, तो दिस इज नो मैच. ठीक है, मैच ही नहीं है इसका. नेक्स्ट, पीक प्रोडक्शन हॉल्टेड, मार्केट रिसर्च बिगिंस, नो कस्टमर फीडबैक कलेक्टेड. व्हाट डू यू थिंक?
No match.
नो ऑप्शन.
नो मैच अगेन.
No
करेक्ट.
option.
पीक प्रोडक्शन हॉल्टेड. अब पीक आता कब है? मैच्योरिटी पे आता है. हॉल्टेड डजंट मेक सेंस, इसके बाद डिक्लाइन होना चाहिए. नेक्स्ट, मार्केट रिसर्च बिगिंस, यहां पर जाके मार्केट रिसर्च अ बिट सरप्राइजिंग. ठीक. एंड लास्टली, नो कंज्यूमर फीडबैक कलेक्टेड. अब मार्केट रिसर्च भी कर रहे हैं और कंज्यूमर फीडबैक भी इग्नोर कर रहे हैं. व्हाट काइंड ऑफ मार्केट रिसर्च इज दिस?
Yes.
अगेन completely off track, and that's why again no match. So let's look at the answers now. We were correct about the introduction, high cost, awareness, little to no. Growth, We are correct again. Maturity, well established, correct. Decline, falling sales, correct. The other two options do not match any of the stages. Correct.
Sir, halting means?
Halting मतलब रोकना. We stop something, we halt it.
Okay.
सर ये
Yes.
उधर कॉपी पेस्ट का ऑप्शन रहता है क्या एग्जाम विंडो में?
नहीं, कॉपी पेस्ट नहीं रहेगा. Let me
तो
quickly
ये
show
सब
you.
टाइप ही करना पड़ेगा ना?
नहीं, you don't have to type. टाइपिंग का ऑप्शन ही चला गया है.
अच्छा.
Question. I'll quickly show you. और राधा चलो एक दो क्वेश्चन ही बचे हैं. I'll show you at the end how it works. Okay. Next question.
ड्रैग ड्रॉप होगा ना सर?
हाँ, drag and drop होगा, correct. Buckeye Grain is evaluating appropriate pricing strategies to use in some stages of product life cycle. Complete the following sentences by choosing the list of options. Now in exam you will see a drop down. Drop down मतलब click करोगे तो you will see multiple options and you have to select one of those. Problem ये है कि हाँ यहाँ पर आंसर दिया हुआ है. So without showcasing you the options, let me ask you guys. ठीक है, मैं options देता हूँ आपको. There are 4-5 types of pricing strategies that we have studied. First is in competitive market, we use competitive pricing. ठीक है, think of chips market, Lay's, Balaji. If third brand opens up selling chips, they will have to use competitive pricing. Second, now if you are selling Rolls Royce, if you are selling Ferrari, what kind of pricing you will use?
Markup?
Cost
प्रीमियम,
Premium pricing.
लग्जरी.
ठीक है, luxury
cost
products,
based price.
premium pricing. वो pricing का I think it's a pricing mechanism rather than strategy. ठीक है, cost based रखना. But yes, we can. It is going under same purview. फिर तीसरा आता है something that Jio did when Jio entered into Indian market. कौन सा pricing था? या फिर Zomato, Uber Eats ने जो किया था क्विक कॉमर्स वगैरह के साथ?
लो
Penetrate.
लो
कि penetration.
Penetrative pricing or penetration pricing. And is there any other option as such? हाँ, एक option उन्होंने और दिया है. Let's say I am selling assets from my company. मैं company को close down कर रहा हूँ. What kind of pricing do we use? I'm selling off all the assets.
लिक्विड बुक वैल्यू.
Liquidation pricing. Whenever we close down our business, we sell all our assets. This is liquidation pricing. You have 4 options. Let's go through the first question now. During the introduction stage, Buckeye Grain is most likely to use. What do you think?
Penetration.
पेनिट्रेशन.
Correct.
Penetration.
This will be penetration pricing. Why? Because it is in the introduction stage. So introduction में penetration pricing makes more sense. Next. In growth stage, Buckeye Grain is most likely to use.
कॉम्पिटिटिव.
Competitive. Oh, मुझे लगा मुझे hint देना पड़ेगा. Okay, without hint you guys are answering. Good. It is competitive pricing. Penetration and competitive pricing. Correct. Chalo. Now let's come to the last question for the day now.
Sir,
Yes.
if in this question means अगर मान लीजिए कि penetration भी दिया हो introduction phase में और skimming भी दिया हो price, तो फिर कौन सा use करेंगे?
I still think introduction के लिए I'm gonna assume you are fairly new in the market क्योंकि वो assumption based रहेगा तो penetration still makes more sense. Skimming ना when you have a very high brand value, something like Apple, तो आपको पहले प्रीमियम मार्केट को टैप इन करना है तो आप प्राइस ज़्यादा रखोगे एंड स्लोली यू विल स्टार्ट रिड्यूसिंग. बट थिंक ऑफ इट इन दिस वे ना, यू आर इन एन इंट्रोडक्शन स्टेज, यू आर लॉन्चिंग आईफोन फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम, तो स्कीमिंग थोड़ा लेस रीजनेबल लगेगा. आई एम नॉट सेइंग इट्स एन इम्पॉसिबल ऑप्शन. आई थिंक इट इज अ लेस करेक्ट ऑप्शन दैन पेनेट्रेशन प्राइसिंग. पेनेट्रेशन प्राइसिंग इंट्रोडक्शन के लिए परफेक्ट मैच, बट स्कीमिंग इफ यू हैव ब्रांड अवेयरनेस देन स्कीमिंग वुड मेक मोर सेंस. लेकिन आपका ब्रांड एस्टेब्लिश नहीं है तो यहाँ पर assumption based वो करेक्ट हो रहा है ना.
Okay, sir.
Clear?
Okay.
Karthik, does it make sense to you? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, बढ़िया. Now let's come to the last question for the day. Complete the following sentences by choosing from the list of options. Again, drop down रहेगा. Let's look at the question. Dash relates to the use of fixed costs in Buckeye Grain's operations.
Operating leverage.
Excellent, श्रुति. I was thinking मैं आपको कैसे options दूं. चलो, 2 तरह के leverage होते हैं. Operating leverage and financial leverage. Which leverage will make more sense over here? This is the hint.
Operating leverage.
Because of this operating leverage. Next. Dash increases Buckeye Grain's risk due to interest obligation.
Financial.
Financial leverage.
Financial
Dash,
leverage.
correct. Dash impacts Buckeye Grain's break-even point and contribution margin. Now, before you guys
Operate.
answer, okay, answer कर लिया, ठीक है. Operating leverage. I was gonna just show revenue and everything, but you guys answered. Last, Dash can amplify returns by using more debt to fund expansion.
Financial leverage.
Financial leverage. Okay. So first and third operating, and third and fourth this thing. The answers are correct. There you go. That's it. 6 questions hai. All of them are correct.
Sir,
Yes.
and suppose sir over here मेरे ना 3 options right है but one option is गलत हो गया then marking scheme कैसे होगी फिर?
Partial marks are given. So 3 सही आए तो 3 के लिए आपको marks मिलेंगे. एक गलत हुआ तो you will lose marks over here. चलो. Now before I take you guys to the demo part, any questions? एक last vote भी ले लेते हैं. If you guys are crystal clear with the overall case study, can I get one in the chat? Okay, good amount of votes are in. So chalo, I'll take you guys to the assignment now. You have to go on Google, search this IMA case-based questions. इसके बाद please go on the first link that will show up. The CMA exam format is evolving. ये link मैं अगर आपको group में चाहिए, I'll share the link as well. Once you're on this page, scroll down to the exam demo. I mean, this is the booklet we are solving, sample questions. But this is the simulation which I want you guys to try. Just click on try simulation. The simulation will open up. This is system check. System check मतलब it kind of replicates के सब softwares वगैरह ठीक है या नहीं. Just click on OK and then click on confirm. When you go in your exam center, this is what you're going to experience. Okay, यहाँ से simulation start होता है. It will start with a confidentiality agreement that you're not supposed to share your questions. ठीक है, whatever questions you read in the exam, don't share it outside. फिर आपका ना एक 15 मिनट का ट्रेनिंग होता है. This is something that you will experience in the exam center as well. यहाँ पे clock start हो गया है. You have to go through these 18 slides as part of your training. And once this training is done, यहाँ पर button है to start your exam directly. You have to click on this, start the test. Okay. So after this class, or even tomorrow is fine, or over the weekend is fine. Make sure you go through the simulation. Go through each slide properly. Read everything that is mentioned over here. ठीक है, यहाँ पे सारे exam conditions है. It's a welcome note for the tutorial, how you can use different things. आप highlight कर सकते हो exam में, तो exam में ऐसे आएगा. Whenever you want to highlight something, you have to drag and click on this. अगर इसको हटा भी देना है, you can click again. You can remove your highlighting as well. Exam में सिर्फ yellow color से ही highlight कर सकते हो. Now if you want to change your user interface display, यहाँ पर settings भी है. You can go to settings and यहाँ पे color scheme change कर सकते हो. If you like black color scheme, just showing. अच्छा नहीं है. This should be fine. जो drag and drop I had committed to Mansi, let me just quickly show you that. ठीक है, ऐसे MCQs आएंगे. Now in this MCQs, let's say whichever answer you think is correct of the following biological levels of organization, which represents smallest or lowest level. ये एक random MCQ दिया है. This is not from CMA. ठीक है, biology से है ये. And I think smallest level पे cell होता है. So over here, let's say if you while thinking you want to strike off some of the options, अगर आप right click करते हो, let's say you right click on population, तो वो strike off हो जाएगा. You right click on ecosystem, strike off हो जाएगा. Okay, this is how the exam overall scenario works. Wherever you need 2 answers, ठीक है, planets चाहिए 2. I think Venus is a planet, Mars is a planet. ठीक है, Titan planet नहीं है. Okay, if you're a Marvel fan, you'll get confused by this. ठीक है, Thanos was from Titan, but वो fictional है. Actual में Venus and Mars ही होते हैं. Mansi, can you see my screen?
Yes.
So such kind of drag and drop options would show up. Months of the year, we can drag and drop December over here, June over here, horse over here, dog over here. So something like this will show up in the case-based questions.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, Hawk में भी है ये section F में.
That's good.
ये
हाँ,
किया
Hawk
था.
had started adding the questions. Yes.
हाँ.
So that's it for today's class, guys. Enjoy your rest of the evening.
Sir,